Hey guys, Sarferaaz Khaan here. It's been quite a long time since I've posted content on self-development as I've been focusing on facts and knowledge for the past few months. Anyway, now let's get started with this. Have you ever worried about a deadline which is closing, that you couldn't finish your work on time? Or have you struggled in the last moment to finish a work? Yes, you definitely must have. You must have, I must have, we all must have come across this situation. So is there really a solution to come out of this situation? Or what can we do to be on time? Yes, this problem has a solution. And that solution is called the Parkinson's law. After watching this video, you will never be worried about a deadline and you will become more and more effective on the work you do.
Everybody talking but they coming to the shows. Pull up in the rows, as you wanna roll. Everybody talking but they coming to the shows. Pulling up, being on swerving. Bad bitch pushing on curving. Run it out like a nigga earning. Gotta check now.
I'll start with a small example. An elderly woman would take 1 or 2 hours to write a big letter to someone, to her son or a daughter. Whereas on the other side, an employee or a student would take 20 to 30 minutes only to write that same big letter. Apart from the age factor here, there is one more important factor, which is time. An elderly woman won't have much work when compared to students and employees. So what can you understand from this piece of example? You can understand the fact that the completion of a work totally depends on how much time you allot to it. If the elderly woman allots 1 or 2 hours for that particular letter, it will definitely take the same time for her. Whereas on the other side, a student or an employee would allot only 20 or 30 minutes for that same letter and he would finish it by the same. This is what the Parkinson's law is all about, guys. This was first ever coined by Cyril Northcote Parkinson in 1955. What did he actually say? Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So just like I said before, the completion of a work totally depends on how much time you allot to it. For example, if you take 1 whole week to complete a project or an assignment, it will definitely take 1 whole week. Whereas on the other side, if you allot yourself only 3 days for that project, no matter what, you will complete that project in just 3 days. So try this for the next time. Even if the teacher gives you 1 whole week for that project, you deliberately reduce the time to 3 days and try what happens. I bet that you will complete the whole work or at least the most of it. So after completing the project in just 3 days, what about the rest of the 4 days? It is completely yours. Enjoy and do whatever you want. There will be no procrastination also, because only when there is a work and it is postponed to some time else, that is called procrastination. The work being completed here, there is no procrastination at all. It's completely yours. So the Parkinson's law is really against time wasting. What it states that the more time you have to complete a work, the more time will be wasted. The main reason for this statement is procrastination. I'll do it later. It's nothing. I'll do it afterwards. This is the main attitude which the Parkinson's law is totally against with. On the other side, there have been a lot of experiments regarding this Parkinson's law in various universities and various other places. I'll give you one experiment for your understanding. A researcher called John Murray applied Parkinson's law to government cabinets. He found that smaller teams of people were often the most efficient and they were able to accomplish a great deal of work in a really short time. On the other side, there were larger groups where there was more time for debates and indeed more time wasted. As far as completed work is concerned, it was much lesser when compared to smaller groups. From this experiment, you could understand the fact that when time becomes big, the completed work becomes shorter and shorter. So with all this being said, is there any practical way to apply this Parkinson's law in our daily life? Yes, absolutely. I'll give you 3 small and simple tips that you can follow in order to apply this Parkinson's law to your daily work and routine. Before that, if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Create deadlines for yourself. This is gonna be the first ever step. If you feel that a work could be completed much more earlier than usual, just start doing it. It would be much better than stressing it in the last moment. So how do you exactly start with the particular work at that moment? A lot of experts advise us to ask 3 questions. How much time would it take to finish this particular work? So I have a project coming up. How long would it take to complete it? Have I done anything similar to this earlier? I have a project now. Did I do something similar to this earlier in my school or college? And if I'm gonna do it for the first time, how effectively can I complete it? And the most important part here is to eliminate all kinds of distractions. The second tip is to use the 80-20 principle. What is this exactly? I'll give you an example and you'll understand. Let's say that you run a business and you want to advertise a particular product. You have a total of 10 advertisers. After all the advertisements are over, you notice that only 4 advertisers bring you 80% of the profits and the other 6 aren't working so efficiently. What you can do here is that you can eliminate the rest of the 6 people and focus only on the 4 people who are generating 80% of the profit for you. Likewise, eliminate all other unimportant work and focus on this particular work which is the most important for you. The final step is to take frequent breaks. Just because you've given only 3 days for yourself to complete a project, it doesn't mean that you have to keep working for the whole 72 hours. Your brain will explode, my friends. In the name of working hard or in the name of working smart, don't stress yourself too much. Don't worry, your productivity levels won't be affected in any way by taking breaks. Research has shown that taking frequent breaks only increases your productivity levels and does not reduce or damage it in any way. The 80-20 principle, like we had discussed earlier, can also be called as the Pareto principle. What the Pareto principle states that 80% of the results come from 20% of the causes or actions. I'll give you an example now. You have an exam tomorrow. Even after studying for the whole day, you plan to study 1 extra hour for that exam. What could happen here is that most of the questions in the exam paper could have come from what you studied in that particular 1 hour. This is what the Pareto principle is all about. 80% of the results come from 20% of the actions. For a more clear understanding of the Pareto principle as well as the Parkinson's law, you can try reading the book The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferris. This book has a separate chapter for these 2 principles. Apart from this book is all about productivity, time management, and how you can earn a lot of money by doing less work, and how you can complete more tasks in a less amount of time, and how you can escape the 9-to-5 job routine and work anywhere in this world, and lots more. So after all this you've heard, is there any one person in this world who takes this Parkinson's law seriously in his daily routine and works accordingly? Any guesses who is that one person? Actually, there is one person, and he's considered to be so special these days. He pops up everywhere, in the news, in the newspaper, in the phone, in the TV, everywhere. And that person is no one else, Elon Musk. One of the most richest men in this world and an ultimately successful businessman. Just imagine Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, OpenAI, boring company. Even managing one company would be a big headache. 5 or 6 companies. A surprising fact about Elon Musk is that he works 11 to 14 hours per day and sleeps for only 6 hours. But additionally, he doesn't keep working all the time. He has children, he spends time with his family more, he goes on a lot of vacations, he exercises, he does a lot of activities and lots more. So how on earth does this man manage his time? I have 24 hours per day, you have 24 hours, everyone else has 24 hours, and that guy also has 24 hours. How on earth does he do it? It's all about time management. So his principle of time management is considered to be more and more extreme than the Pareto principle as well as the Parkinson's law. And that principle is called the 5-minute block system. The secret behind Elon Musk's success is the 5-minute rule. From waking up in the morning to going to bed at night, the whole day of Elon Musk is already planned. He divides the whole day into 5-minute blocks. It is already decided which 5-minute block to use for which work. In one 5-minute block, he replies to an email. In another block, he packs a meal. In just 5 minutes. He tries to get business meetings done in less than 5 minutes. This 5-minute rule may seem simple, but it is very difficult to implement. Because just imagine how difficult it would be to complete one particular work in just 5 minutes and move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. But this is very advantageous. If you have very little time to do something, you put all your energy into it. So your productivity increases, and that work is more likely to be completed. Since you've already decided what to do, your mind becomes engrossed in the things at hand and stops thinking about other things. Your concentration increases as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, by now you must have understood what is this Parkinson's law, Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, and how effectively to use this in your daily routine, the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferris, Elon Musk, and everything. And regarding the 3 tips, I'll give you a small recap. create deadlines for yourself, use the 80 to 20 principle, which is also called as the Pareto principle, and take frequent breaks. I hope you would have enjoyed this new information. Try implementing this in your daily routine and let me know in the comment section if this is gonna be beneficial or not. So that's it for today, guys. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it with everyone, and drop your comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for new videos every week. Until next time, stay happy, stay motivated, and believe in yourself.
You